Good day to all of you and a happy new year. This is S. Sivaram, former senior executive from SSI Paper and Boards Limited, Erode. Is glad to meet you all once again. In our last four videos, we have seen in part 1 a brief description of 5 years concepts. From part 2 to part 4, we have discussed about 1 as sort, 2 as set in order, and 3 as shine. Now in part 5, we will be seeing the fourth step, that is standardize. In this for us, we will discuss what is the meaning of standardize, what are the things we need to standardize, how to standardize with the photos and pictures, and its benefits. This step will be very useful to process and engineering industries for controlling and monitoring the processes, safety, etc. Now let's move into the subject and view the for us video. Welcome to 5 years training part 5. For us is that is standardize. Before moving into 4S subject, let us recap what we understood about 1S, 2S and 3S. We will do a small exercise which will help us to understand fully the first 3 steps in 5 years. Here in this slide it says that you are manufacturing 4 different colors of balls and also footballs. Let's assume you get an order to sell colored balls. Before manufacturing the balls, you want to take inventory of the colored ball first in the storeroom. You are given only 2 seconds to find out the number of green balls in the storeroom. But in the storeroom, you find all the colored balls and footballs are all in mixed condition by mistake. Can you assess the number of green balls within 2 seconds? It's not possible. Then what to do then? As per oneness sort, it says first remove all unwanted things from the place. Here footballs are the unwanted things not required in the storeroom. Hence you remove the footballs first. Now let's see whether you are able to count the number of balls within 2 seconds. After removing the footballs, you are still not able to assess the number of green balls in the storeroom within 2 seconds, since they are still found mixed with other colored balls. As per 2S, you need to set in order, that is, wanted things are to be kept in order at their designated places in a place, that is, in a place for everything and everything in its place. After setting the balls in order, that is, colored balls are kept at designated places, but they are covered with dust and the room is full of dirt. You need to do the next step, that is 3S shine. First you clean the dust on the balls and also remove the dirt inside the storeroom. Now how many green balls do we have? After implementing 1S, 2S and 3S, the unwanted footballs have been removed and other colored balls cleaned and kept at their designated places. Dirt in the storeroom also cleaned. Now the balls look as though they are new balls, and the inventory of the colored balls were assessed, and some more balls were manufactured and delivered to the customer without any delay. Both supplier and customer are happy. This simple exercise shows how the first 3 steps in 5 years are done for easy understanding of 5 years concepts. Now let's move into the 5 years fourth step, that is for us standardize. This step involves creating ways to sustain the first 3 steps. Let's see why we need to do for us. After implementing the first 3 steps, some find them difficult to maintain and sustain them. Whatever we have achieved through 1S, 2S and 3S should not be allowed to deteriorate. We should not allow unwanted things, dust, dirt to accumulate again, and then we start doing 1S, 2S and 3S again. It is a custom in India that we start cleaning our places whenever VIP visits a factory or during auspicious day like Ayudha Puja festival time. This type of habit is to be stopped. 1S, 2S, 3S should be an integral part of our day-to-day duty. 5S should be our way of life. It has to be done with passion as the Japanese people do. How to do for us in our workplaces? First, set standards for doing 1S, 2S, and 3s. That is, decide when to do, who has to do, where to do, and how to do. Also, prepare SOP, standard operating procedures, and work instructions like starting and stopping of the machines, emergency preparedness for fire, chemical accidents, and natural disasters. Fix range of process parameters for all the process activities in the production line. Document them and follow them strictly. Every operator should know what are the norms fixed for his process inputs and for his product output. Proper training to be imparted to all personnel concerned to understand the new standards, norms, requirements, and also the do's and don'ts. Conduct periodic audits and ensure the corrective actions have been taken to address the audit findings. Fix responsibility with the target dates for completion of corrective actions. During 3 years activity, we have seen that we need to use the CILT check sheet for cleaning and for identify abnormalities in the equipment and solve the problems if any. We need to have a system to help us in identifying problems beforehand like quality defects, machine downtime and production loss. One such system is we need to introduce is visual management in our workplaces to help us in identifying the problems early. Detailed examples of visual management are given in the coming next slides. Let us understand what is visual management. It is used to help in controlling and maintaining the production quality, safety, and customer service. It is said the brain processes visual information 60,000 times faster than that presented in text form. It also helps in avoiding mistakes. One good example we can take our computers where visual management is effectively used in the form of various icons shown in the desktop screen and which helps us to operate it with ease, quickly and correctly. Visual management is a very effective means of continuous improvement. Let's see some examples of visual management we see in our public life. We see a lot of visuals like traffic signals, shops names, ATM name boards, display boards of doctors and various departments in the hospitals. Milestones on the highways, way to boards indicating the places in town, street names, traffic caution signs like no right turn, no U-turn, zero zebra crossings, etc. Neon lights on top of buildings like hospitals, hotels, cinema theaters, etc. No trespassing and do not walk on grass, do not pluck flowers, use me dustbins, drinking water identification in the parks. We have seen some examples of visual management for the public. Similarly, we need to display visuals in the factories to help employees in the workplaces for process control, safety, etc. Now let's see what are the visual management inside the factory. Providing transparent covers to view the status of the process and also the condition of drive belts of some of the critical equipment. Marking the direction of flow in the pipelines of water, steam, condensate, compressed air, oil, chemicals, etc. One important thing is marking the direction of rotation on the equipment like pumps, centrifugal fans, etc. to avoid running the equipment in wrong direction when replacing the worn-out motor. Running the equipment in wrong direction sometimes will damage the equipment and also time loss for correcting the direction of rotation. Marking red lines for shifting the unwanted items, providing wind socks on the top of the highest building to know the direction of the wind. This will be very useful during moving to assembly points in view of major fire hazard. Marking emergency exits in the departments. Danger signs like high voltage current, do not enter, men working at heights, dust prone area, use PPEs, etc. are some examples in visual management. In these slides, some more visual managements are given. Display emergency plan for fire and medical emergency for which mock drills to be conducted periodically. Display use safety goggles by grinding and welding. Skull and bone sign and no entry at hazardous areas. Men working display boards use safety belts and helmets while working at heights, caution boards. Display notice boards in all departments for communication. Display working instruction and SOPs with process parameter norms near the machines and preventive maintenance lubrication schedule disclosed for the maintenance personnel. Some more examples like marking normal operating range on the glass of vacuum and pressure gauges. These will help in controlling the process. Any deviation from the operating range should be analyzed, root cause to be found out and rectified. Similarly, marking normal motor load and overload in the emitters will indicate whether the process is normal or not. High and low markings for lubrication oil in the side glasses are for monitoring and maintaining the oil levels in the equipment. Display of signboards at the emergency assembly points and also indicating the important emergency phone numbers to be contacted in case of fire or chemical accident, etc. Fix which color to be painted on the water, steam, condensate, compressed air and oil lines. Also mark the direction of the flow in the above pipe lines. Under safety, the placement of fire extinguishers is very important. They should be visible from a distance without any difficulty. Mark zebra crossing marks yellow and black lines on the floor in front of the fire extinguishers to prevent people from keeping things in front of them. Ensure always free access to fire extinguishers and water hydrants. Training to be given to all employees in this regard. While taking maintenance work, ensure lockout and tagout system is used for as a foolproof safety. Example, separate individual keys for process, electrical and mechanical personnel for isolating the equipment for taking maintenance or process cleaning work. This is a foolproof method to avoid accidents. Ensure forklifts have reverse horn and blinking lights. Draw yellow lines on the floor for the free movement of forklifts and personnel. 2-bit system with color coding will control inventory. We have seen this in detail in our previous 2S videos. Providing shadow boards for keeping the maintenance tools for easy and quick retrieval and putting them back after use without any problem. This will also help in identifying the missing tools also. We need to standardize the colors in the factory too. Color coding for various pipelines, floor line markings, name boards, safety caution boards, handrails in the steps, storage tanks, etc. High and low oil levels, operating ranges in the gauges, dial thermometers. Use bright colors for cautioning and safety. Similarly, standardize the labels and stickers. Color labels for different grades of oil, fire extinguisher stickers on the wall, also for soil, cotton waste. Fire extinguisher should have a card indicating the last and next inspecting dates, etc. Training to be given to selected employees how to handle fire extinguishers. Conduct mock drills to give practical training. These are some more areas we need to standardize. You can read these visually. Like is the company colors, font size, for letters, for display boards, labels, machine identification. All machines should have identification. All equipment should have details, areas, building names, do not smoke, caution boards, checklists, audit formats, personal name boards, emergency exit identification, warning signals, company logo, font size and color, danger, high voltage identification, do's and don'ts display near machines, light and fan switches identification, parking, no parking areas, go slow, speed arrestor indications, storerooms and cabins names, flow marking yellow line width, you have to decide what is the width you have to maintain. Handrails color should be common throughout the factory. Valve open and close indications for safety. Instruments, electrical cables for identification. Computer cables identification. These will help in identifying the what you call the damaged cables or wrong cables, problem cables. Department files ID, color stickers display inventory details or spares in the store required and actual. This also will help you to maintain the inventory. These are some pictures of visual communication signs. Example, fire exit, no smoking sign, different color warning lights to alert the operator to take immediate action. Whenever this every color has a specific action. Warning indicating lights signals grab your attention to control the process. And blue, white, and this yellow, normal running, problem, machine is stopped. Different colors means different this thing. Direction of rotation, stop sign, this is a traffic signal, and these are different colored bins used for to throw your waste, like paper, glass, plastic, metals, turn off mobile phones, direction of flow in pipelines for all the steam, water, condensate, oil, everything. These are some of the caution board standardization for color. Here you see is a red color for safety caution board standard for color, font and size. Red background is given. It is written in white caution when working height. Use PPEs, protective personal protective equipment. No entry. Do not switch on when the machine is under shutdown or under maintenance. Warning high tension current. Do not enter. And these are the names of the departments. You standardize them for color, font and size. Like example stores, you see the border is given in sky blue, white background, and this navy blue letters. So go down lab, and these are the markings on the pipelines and direction of its flow for standard for color. Water it's given in green, steam it is given red, air blue, chemical violet, and oil is in brown. Here at the left hand side top we see the bolt, nut and base. Bolt, nut, base marked with yellow paint and a thin black line. This is a thin black line. It's a thin black line also marked. If the nut and bolt gets loosened, the straight black line will get disturbed, indicating that the bolt and nut got loosened. The operator with the help of the fitter will tighten them and analyze the cause for loosening and take corrective actions. So very important visual management which will help the factory people. At the right hand side, the valve full open and full close for operating purpose. Left hand side bottom picture shows the two bin system for keeping the tire element for inventory control. It is the green level is safe, the yellow is your reorder level, and this is a very critical level. Okay. And at the right hand side bottom picture shows the picture of shadow box for keeping the maintenance. We already discussed in the 2S. This is another important picture which shows the operating range marked in the green. These are the operating on the glass of the operator of the pressure gauge, vacuum gauge, and this is the ammeter you mark with the like a V notch you give. This is the operating range for pressure. This is the operating range for the vacuum, like that. In the pressure gauge, operating range is between 22 to 25 psi marked in the green. Any reading less or more than the mark range is an abnormality. If the reading deviates from the operating range, the operator should find out the reason for the deviation and take corrective action to rectify the problem if any. Here, similarly, this is a vacuum gauge. Is also marked for normal operating range. This is a normal operating range. If the vacuum is low, it indicates that there is some air infiltration in the suction side of the vacuum system. Check the suction point for any damage or corrosion and take corrective action. If the vacuum is is very high, then it indicates that the filtering medium, that is a wire mesh, is choked. It needs cleaning. At the bottom, it is an emitter. This is an emitter. Green line shows the normal load on the motor, and the process and production is normal. The red line, this red line indicates overload of the motor, maybe due to worn out bearings on the motor, or if it is a pump, some obstruction in the pump. If the load is below the green, if the load is below the green, green line, it indicates poor pumping, maybe due to impeller scaling. Stop the pump, check impeller and descale it. This is a very good for process people. Visual management, very important thing. This is a checklist for doing 5 years audit. What we need to check individually for implementing 1S, 2S, 3S and 4S. We have already discussed what we need to do while implementing 1S to 4S. You need to check whether the department is doing as per procedure, as we have learned in 1S or 2S. Audit 1, verify whether sorting is done at regular intervals such as weekly, fortnightly, monthly, etc. Check whether unwanted or unused items have been removed from the departments. Check red line area, whether unwanted things have been quantified, accounted with before disposing. Audit 2 as set in order. You have to observe whether things including the new items purchased are kept at designated places with proper identification for quick retrieval, etc. Ensure a place for everything and everything in its place is practiced. Proper identification are provided for all items. Audit 3 shine. What you have to do, observe if everything is kept neat and tidy, ensure no leakages and no spillages. Check whether check sheets and acknowledges are duly filled in and are effectively used. This is a very good important statement. Check whether CLT check sheets and abnormally registers are duly filled in and are effectively used. Audit 4S standardization. Check whether visual management is in place, color codes are in place, SOP, work instruction, warning signs are in place. This is a sample of a checklist for 5 years audit. Now let's see what are the benefits of doing 4S. Helps in synchronizing the activities of 1S, 2S and 3S. Educating standard methods in practice to the new persons joining. SOP's work instructions helps employees' knowledge in operating the equipment effectively, safely, without breakdowns and production loss. Visual controls helps in avoiding problems beforehand and improves work efficiency. Assistance time saves time. Prevention is better than cure. Quality defects will get reduced. As a result, customer complaints will come down. Promotes safety awareness and thus helps in reducing accidents. Helps employees to handle the tools, identify the location of needed spare parts, tools with ease, provide awareness of preventive maintenance. Identification of water, steam, condensate, air, oil and other chemical lines and flow direction help employees to perform their duties correctly and safely. Helps to avoid the possibility of making mistakes. I repeat, helps to avoid the possibility of making mistakes. This is a very important statement. If you have this visual control in place, employees also enjoy coming to work safely and return home happily. We have come to the concluding part of this video. I would like to end with the famous saying of Henry Ford, leading car manufacturer in the world. Coming together is the beginning. Coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is progress, success. Hence, let's work as a team and start implementing all the steps in 5 years and enjoy its benefits. In fact, the Japanese first visited Ford company in USA after World War II to learn the best practices in manufacturing and implemented them in Japan, modifying the methods to suit their Japanese culture. They included 5 years as the first main tool in the manufacturing practices. Later became one of the world's leading car manufacturer, famous for its quality and reduced cost of cars. Later, Ford company was surprised, visited Japan, and learned that 5 years techniques was the secret, and they learned the technique from them and implement them in their units to improve their performance also. My next video will be on 5 years, that is sustain. Please do not miss it. This will be the last video in 5 years. Thank you all for your patient hearing. If you like to view my previous videos on my profile and my journey through Standardise Paper and Boards Limited and my next videos on 5 years concept, 1 years, 2 years, 3 years, can visit, please visit YouTube searching Learning with Sivaram. If you like this video, please don't forget to press the like button and also click the subscribe bell and share among your friends, factory employees, college students who will be benefited. I require this information to assess how many persons have gone through this video and like them, so that I can move forward and prepare further videos on management system tools, etc. Once again, thank you all. Have a nice day.